The Cats of Consciousness by Joseph Kelly. Chapter 10. Emotions and Affect Reflecting the Inner State. Watch a cat move through its emotional landscape. From contentment to curiosity, from alertness to peaceful rest, and you'll witness a master class in emotional authenticity. Unlike humans who often struggle with complex feelings or try to suppress unwanted emotions, cats embody each feeling state fully and move through it naturally, without resistance or attachment. Think of your emotional life as a flowing river, always moving, changing, yet somehow maintaining its essential nature. Like a cat that doesn't fight against its feelings but flows with them naturally, we too can learn to move with rather than against our emotional currents. Many of us were taught to see emotions as problems to be solved rather than experiences to be understood. When we learn to respect our emotions as messengers rather than enemies, everything begins to shift. Our emotions speak a language more ancient than words, communicating through sensation, energy, and intuitive knowing. Just as a cat's tail, ears, and posture tell a clear story of its emotional state, our bodies constantly communicate our feeling states, if we learn to listen. When we stop trying to think our way through emotions and start feeling them in our bodies, healing happens naturally. It's like the difference between reading about water and actually swimming. You have to immerse yourself to really understand. Consider how a cat never pretends to feel other than it does. This emotional honesty creates clarity and authenticity in all its interactions. While human emotional life is more complex, we can learn from this directness. Like a cat that can move from peaceful rest to alertness in an instant, our emotional states are dynamic and fluid. Understanding this emotional landscape helps us navigate it more skillfully. These are our first immediate emotional responses, like a cat's instant reaction to an unexpected sound. Learning to recognize these primary emotions as they arise gives us valuable information about our experience. The sudden warmth of joy when meeting a friend, the quick flash of fear when sensing danger, the immediate surge of anger when boundaries are crossed, and the soft glow of contentment in a peaceful moment. These are our reactions to our primary emotions, like a cat that becomes aggressive because it's frightened. I realized I was creating layers of emotion about my emotions. Fear would arise, and then I'd feel shame about being afraid, then anxiety about feeling shame. Understanding this pattern helped me break the cycle by accepting my primary emotions with more compassion. Just as a cat fully experiences each emotional state without getting stuck in it, we can learn to be present with our feelings without being overwhelmed by them. This requires developing what I call emotional spaciousness, the capacity to hold our feelings with awareness and compassion. I used to either suppress my feelings or be consumed by them. Learning to create space around emotions, to feel them fully while maintaining a sense of perspective, changed everything. Now I can be moved by my emotions without being controlled by them. Try this gentle practice for developing emotional presence. First, notice what you're feeling right now. Next, locate this emotion in your body. Then, breathe gentle awareness into that area. Allow the feeling to be there without trying to change it. Finally, notice how the emotion naturally shifts and changes. Like a cat facing a thunderstorm, we all encounter emotional weather that challenges us. The key isn't to eliminate difficult emotions, but to develop a more skillful relationship with them. I used to think being strong meant not feeling the pain. Now I understand that true strength is having the courage to feel everything fully, to let the waves of emotion move through you while keeping your heart open. Try this gentle approach when strong emotions arise. 1. Create a safe container. Find a quiet space where you can be undisturbed. Ground yourself through your breath and body. Remind yourself, I am safe to feel this. 2. Meet the emotion with curiosity. Notice where you feel it in your body. What color, temperature, or texture does it have? How does it want to move or express itself? Place a gentle hand on your heart, speak to yourself with kindness, and remember, this too shall pass. Strong emotions are like powerful weather systems. They have their own wisdom and timing. Fighting them only creates more turbulence. The key is learning to stay grounded while letting them move through. Consider these anchoring practices for emotional storms. First, feel your feet firmly connected to the earth. Then let your body sway slightly like a tree in the wind. Finally, allow the emotion to move while staying rooted. The ocean wave approach. Imagine your awareness as the vast ocean. Let emotions rise and fall like waves. Remember, you are the ocean, not just the waves. Just as cats communicate volumes through subtle changes in posture and expression, our emotional states constantly influence our interactions with others. Learning to navigate this emotional dimension of relationships transforms our connections. It's like two cats grooming each other. There's a natural rhythm of giving and receiving emotional energy. When we learn to tune into this dance, our relationships become deeper and more authentic. Try these practices for developing emotional presence with others. First, the heart listening practice. When someone is sharing, tune into their emotional tone. Notice your own emotional response. Create space for both experiences without trying to fix or change anything. Respond from this place of shared understanding. Second, the emotional bridge exercise. Before difficult conversations, check in with your own emotional state. Imagine extending a bridge of understanding to the other person. Consider what they might be feeling. Approach the interaction with curiosity and compassion. Like a cat that knows exactly when it wants affection and when it needs space, healthy emotional boundaries support authentic connection. Learning that I could be compassionate without absorbing others' emotions was revolutionary. Setting emotional boundaries isn't selfish, it's essential for genuine intimacy. Integrating emotional awareness into daily life creates a foundation for lasting well-being. Consider these gentle practices. Morning emotional check-in. Start your day with quiet attention to your emotional state. How does your heart feel today? What emotions are present? What might need extra tenderness or support? Mindful emotional transitions. Between activities, take a moment to notice your emotional state. Honor what you're leaving behind. Open to what's coming next. Adjust your energy accordingly. Like a cat that grows more confident and balanced through life experience, our emotional capacity can expand and deepen over time. This journey isn't about reaching a state of perpetual happiness, but about developing a richer, more nuanced emotional life. Stages of emotional growth. We often think of emotional maturity as feeling less, when actually it's about feeling more subtly, more deeply, with greater awareness and capacity to hold complexity. Consider these markers of emotional development. 1. From reaction to response. Moving beyond automatic emotional reactions, creating space between trigger and response, choosing how to express emotions consciously. 2. From judgment to curiosity, releasing the need to label emotions as good or bad, approaching all feelings with gentle interest, understanding each emotion's message and purpose. From resistance to acceptance, welcoming all emotional experiences, trusting the wisdom of emotional processes, finding peace with emotional cycles. It's like creating a mosaic from broken pieces. Every emotion, even the painful ones, adds color and texture to the whole picture of who we are. Nothing needs to be left out or hidden away. Practical integration tools. The emotional journal practice. Keep a simple record of your emotional journey. Note the emotions you experience each day, track patterns and triggers, celebrate moments of emotional wisdom, and document your growing emotional vocabulary. The body emotion map. Create awareness of how emotions manifest physically. Where do you feel different emotions? What sensations accompany each feeling? How does emotional energy move through your body? Like a cat that knows instinctively when to rest, play, or seek connection, we can develop trust in our emotional wisdom. This isn't about overthinking our feelings, but about listening to their guidance more skillfully. Professional life. Notice how emotions inform your work. What feels energizing or draining? Which projects resonate emotionally? How do different interactions affect your emotional state? Creative expression. Let emotions fuel your creativity. Use feelings as raw material for art, music, or writing. Allow emotional energy to guide your creative process. Trust the wisdom of emotional inspiration. Personal growth. Use emotional awareness as a compass for development. Notice which activities feel authentically nourishing. Listen to emotional feedback about life choices. Trust your heart's wisdom in decision-making. As we prepare to explore actions, reactions, and interactions in our next chapter, notice how your emotional awareness influences your behavior and relationships. Like a cat whose actions flow naturally from its emotional state, our authentic movement in the world emerges from our emotional truth. Remember, your emotions are not problems to be solved, but messages to be heard, energy to be channeled, wisdom to be integrated. Like our feline friends who never apologize for their feelings, you too can develop a more natural and confident relationship with your emotional life. Trust that each emotion, whether comfortable or challenging, contributes to your growing emotional intelligence. As you continue this exploration, remember that emotional wisdom develops not through control or suppression, but through gentle awareness, acceptance, and integration. Your emotional life is a precious gift, offering guidance, depth, and richness to your experience. Treat it with the same respect and curiosity you might offer to a cat. Observe without judgment, respond with patience, and trust in the natural unfolding of emotional